Hi guys, it's Hollywood and Fletch, made famous with Boys on Tour, but we're not on tour, we're sat in my living room. But this isn't for Boys on Tour. This is for my channel, this is for Hollywood's channel. And the most important thing about this is it proved to you the partnership is still together. Boys on Tour still exists. This isn't about me going off on my own and doing my own thing. This is about me expanding on, like I said. And included in that, I did say you'd see Gav, and Gav's here.
They've seen me. Your attempt of cooking. Keep doing
Come
those.
Dine with Hollywood. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's hilarious.
It's that hilarious. I've still got good weight from it.
I gave him the poopies. I made him poopies with the bad stomach.
You seen the colour of the sauce? That was the colour of the shit.
Nice. Keep it PG.
We are okay.
No, Aidan
Fox.
Brown's watching.
Oh yeah. Well, click like.
Like. He's already subscribed, but like. Yes, we will be interviewing Aidan Brown on a future vlog of Boys on Tour, possibly this Sunday, because Aidan's going to be there.
So that will be up on Boys on Tour at some point in next week.
Few days, yes. Anyway, we really are structured, aren't we?
Yeah, the thing is, we're always unscripted. But you got one comment that we actually had at Travade. I've forgotten the person who actually mentioned it, who actually compared our vlogs to the Likely Lads, the British comedy classic. So
we'll take that.
We actually take that as not as a pinch of salt. That's hands down.
Big props.
Yeah, because it's one of my favourite comedies of all time.
Right, I know what I want to talk about since we're doing a video. I want to give some thoughts on Travade. Now, I know we did a big vlog on Travade for Boys on Tour.
2 parts.
That big, it had to be 2 parts.
Fucking hell, the amount of times we've shot on that, Jesus Christ.
But, let's look at the aftermath. Let's look at the fact that the night raised $2,500 for the guy.
It could be the except when they've actually got all the other stuff as well on eBay that's selling.
And that doesn't include all the auction items, like Gav's saying. It was an incredible night. When we did the wrap up back here, like I said, I was very tired. I was wired. I didn't know. No one said I didn't know what I was saying. I didn't know how to say it. I couldn't put into words how emotional the evening was, how nice it was to interact, with the likes of the shooting star Chris Travis, the British legend, stood there at a night in his honour, humbly allowed me to interview him. And then the afterthought of that is watched our vlog and said he was choked by it. Chris, how do you think that makes us feel? We were choked seeing you get in the ring and sticking a super kick on Bubblegum's jaw.
Not only that, fucking Bubblegum kicked him where the fucking operation was.
Trav, you're a true fighter. And speaking of true fighters, somebody that's gone through very similar to yourself, our good friend Dino. Yay! You managed it, mate. You came, you saw, and you kicked its ass.
As I say, you've kicked cancer's ass. It's hashtag, yeah. We know hashtag would not like the E, but when we do our hashtag, or Dino does his hashtag, he deserves that hashtag. Hands down, there's not many in this world where I actually say it's been kicked out of his system and in one system. It's, even though technology is evolving, people are dying left, right, centre of cancer, and he kicked its arse.
And during the time that he was kicking cancer's arse, he did his best, put together a 24-hour BWR radio show for Chris, which you've seen on our vlog when we rang up and spoke to Dino about it.
Even though we showed 6 minutes of it.
Dino took ill that night and unfortunately couldn't finish the show. The show went on. The show was amazing. But what Dino's been through himself, we can't relate to that. We are not sufferers of cancer. But what we can do is sympathise and support. Like Dino, like Trav. And it's not just about putting those people on pedestals just because they're in the public eye and they're friends of ours. Everybody knows somebody that's had or suffered with cancer. It is that serious at the moment. You've got family members, friends. We come together and we support them all. You should be looking after your family and your friends. We've all got a responsibility when it comes to cancer. Look after yourself, protect yourself from it as much as you can, and when the inevitable does happen, and it does come, be there, help and support. Even if it is just little things like, oh, I'll give you a lift to the hospital for chemotherapy. Okay, what am I talking about? What's this got to do with wrestling? It doesn't matter about wrestling. It matters about what matters. And that was the point of us doing this video now, talking about what comes to us at the time. I'm not going to sit here and shoot on people that have cancer or don't have cancer or how we deal with it all night. That's not what this video is. I've said my piece on cancer.
But there's one person I would love to give a shout out whilst we're talking about cancer.
Please do.
She's actually one girl that's on the rise on the British scene. Yes, it's wrestling related, guys. Can't believe it, can we?
Wrestling on my channel? You must be on drugs.
Never! But big shout out to Erin Knight for doing that charity show.
Yeah, we love you, Erin.
Because the reason why she lost her father due to cancer within the week of that show prior. So big shout out to you to soldier on. Your dad's looking from up above down to you, girl, for doing what you did.
Really, really proud of you for it as well. As is the wrestling community as a whole.
I know it might sound a bit silly, but the only way I found out was through Bubblegum Status. Yes, the Monster Heel's got a fucking Facebook who's actually quite nice and genuine in real life. Hard to believe. You know, we don't want to break kayfabe, but the principle is, when I found out about that, we had to give you a mention on this.
Of course we had to give you a mention. Erin Knight, up and coming star in the UK scene. Somebody we haven't really mentioned much, and I think we probably need to profile her a bit more on Boys on Tour in the future.
We did on one of the episodes, but we'll hope
we didn't do enough. And hopefully in the future, Erin, we might get to have a few words with you, interview you, you give us your thoughts and ideas and future plans so that we can pass that on to the British wrestling community. What do you think?
When we did actually meet her, we were actually talking to her like we were interviewing, and daft twat here in the car on the way home. I knew we should have interviewed her.
We all make mistakes, and believe me, I'm the king of making mistakes. It's not his fault he was
born.
Please, let's not get into a bitch fight.
Okay, sweetheart.
He's doing mine, not in already. Look, we haven't gone into the details of it too much. We've hinted at it. But in the new year, we've got some big, big plans. And we're still not going to talk about it. We're just going to let it happen when it happens. To be honest, we haven't fully finalised these plans ourselves. We just know what we want to do. We've got a direction, we've got a focus, we've got a goal, and it's going to be bigger than Boys on Tour. Boys on Tour will continue, because that's our baby. But this is going to be above it. Boys on Tour will be setting the standard. This will smash that standard to bits. What we're going to be doing, hopefully, in a positive, in fact I won't say hopefully, I'll say it will, in a positive way.
Is that playing on words?
Expose the British wrestling scene in a positive way for what it is, and it will explode the wrestling scene in Britain to fans as well as people that aren't fans yet. It will give people a stronger insight into British wrestling, and it's not going to be individual promotion specific. We go to several different promotions. We go to EAW, we go to Southside, we go to Hope, we go to Hope Future, we go to House of Pain. These are the local ones. We will travel where money and time allows. And we will be travelling more next year. She doesn't know this. We will be travelling more next year. We will be meeting more people. We will be bringing a package together for you guys. Better than anything we've ever done before. And probably better than anything you've ever seen any YouTubers do before.
But keep in mind, at the moment, like we say,
it's under wraps. Secret.
It's not. No. It's not only that. It's just money. Not e-begging, guys. Don't worry, we're not e-begging.
No, we don't want your money.
We want your support.
We want the likes, the comments, the subscribes. If you don't like what you see, tell us. We'll change it. If there's something you do want to see that we're not doing, tell us. We'll do our best to do it.
We're here for you.
I've got onto this clown about the quality of the camera we've been using and the quality of the footage we've been putting out. Travade, we did, in my mind, one of our better vlogs. It would have been even better had we had the better quality camera. We are now recording on my video camera.
We don't have any sponsors before he fucking says all the fucking... Just tell the viewers what cameras we're using.
No, it's a video camera. We are not using a compact. We're not using a camera for taking photographs. We're using a proper dedicated HD video camera now. This camera will be coming out with us on Boys on Tour in the future. This camera will be used when we do interviews of wrestlers at shows. This camera will be used for near enough everything we do in the future to bring you guys better quality so that the content that we're already providing is viewable.
And we've already got people that are actually, I would say...
They're on the back burner. They're on the back burner. They're ready to be involved. There's people that are on the inside of the wrestling community, shall we say, that know what we're doing.
I think the whole fucking UK know what we're doing by now.
And those people want to come on board with it. They want to work with us. But we want to make it better so that we are not insulting them by giving them poor quality interviews where we can't hear what they're saying properly. Poor quality video footage where you can't see them properly. We want it to be sharp, crisp and clear so that you guys get the best. Would you agree?
Yeah, I admitted that I was emotional, right? And this is off the cuff, as we say, unscripted, still on drawing board. But with that Travade one, yeah, we did make it hard hitting. It was a ball ache to edit in a good way because it got my emotions flowing. Yeah, you know I'm a passionate wrestling fan. This Burke here is a passionate wrestling fan. But it pushed us more and more and more and more and more to do better. I enjoyed putting that together, but I wish we used something like this at wrestling shows if we had permission that way. Don't get me wrong, Harvey Dale, big shout out to you for letting us do what we did and supporting Travade and spreading the word, being a part of it. Even Adam Curtis wanted to be a part of it. People in the British industry know I'm notorious, that's a big statement.
The guy with the 24-hour gimmick.
He would fucking hate you for saying that.
That's his new tagline.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? People that I've had feuds with as a wrestling fan towards them in the indie scene. As soon as we went up to them, they know us by name. They reserve us seats by name.
They do.
So this proves how much people want us on board on their product, and we're showing respect back to promote their product.
This is very true.
Not just by what you see by certain organisations we mentioned. We want to reach out further. Like he's just said not that long ago. But you know, it's weird when you actually go to a wrestling show. Yeah, a wrestling show on camera. Sometimes you have to say them by the wrestling names. But when I actually speak to wrestlers on a one-to level, like coming up to you in that lot, you say by their real name, their Christian name. It feels so surreal, but it's good to show they know us and want to spend time with us. You know, that's what we want to do.
That's what we're about.
We're not, and this is one thing I love about the British scene as well. Not many people realise this. Yeah, it may be a TNA part of their brand, but British Boot Camp Season 2 has been an eye-opener more than Season 1 has. Because I've seen people who are non-wrestling fans tuning in to see what I'm talking about, and they've actually seen what the passion going through me and through Stephen Hollywood, through our vlogs. And they actually feel our passion. That's what we aim to do. Over to you. Sorry. This is his channel, not mine. I feel like I'm ranting on mine.
Feel free. You shoot on whatever you want. They want to listen.
Yeah.
If you've got something to say it. If I thought you was being a retard, I'd tell you to shut the fuck up.
Well, I know we guarantee we'll get a like at least on this.
I would like to think so.
Even though we ain't got... Obviously he's starting on his own brand towards it. He's got 8 subscribers already. He deserves more. This guy's got more passion for this than other than me.
Join us.
Yeah, that's not his brand of t-shirt, by the way. But there might be brands of t-shirt coming in the near distant future.
There will be merch. There will be Boys on Tour merch. There will be merch for the bigger project. It's already been discussed.
And keep in mind as well,
We're talking baseball caps, t-shirts, possibly hoodies. There will be Boys on Tour merchandise. There will be merchandise for the other project. Project X, we'll call it for now.
yeah,
There will be.
it's not to do with Robbie X. No disrespect to Robbie,
No.
but he's on board some way or form.
Robbie X will be on board, and Robbie X will probably be on board sooner rather than later, because if we're not careful, Robbie X will be leaving the indie scene and going on to bigger and better things. And we are not about mainstream, we're about the indies. So once a wrestler leaves the indies and goes to mainstream, to me, they're what I was talking about the other night, they become untouchable. You start talking about the E, and don't get me started on the E, I'm not going to sit here and shoot on the E for an hour, because I could do quite easily. But we're not about that. We're not about talking about the E in a good way or a bad way, or even TNA. This is for other people. What we do is British wrestling. Like I say, we support the best of British. We support Styx. We support Joseph Connors. We support Ryan Smile. We support Tyler Bate. We support our good friend Kane Arnell and his manager Bear, manager straight bodyguard Bear. We support British wrestling. Big shout out to Martin Kirby as well, one half of Project Ego. We support Robbie X, who Gav mentioned.
Jack Jester all the way up in Scotland.
Grado.
Another name. If we fucking lose him to TNA, God help us.
I know.
I know he's a comic book character, but at least one thing, he's a comic book character, can take bumps.
But you're forgetting other names as well. We've got to shout Will Ospreay out.
And look, fucking, he's on fire. He's had an amazing year.
Will Ospreay. Huge.
You've got people like fucking Rich Swann that's bigging him up big time.
Rich Swann.
But
True legend.
Even though he's US based. But you know,
Yeah, but I don't call him an import.
he's born.
Just like we've got an amazing tag team here in the UK, and I'm not talking about the Hunters, we'll talk about them in a little while. I'm talking about SDS, Sumerian Death Squad. They are not English, but I spoke personally with Tommy End, and he himself said he is part of Southside's family. Southside are British wrestling. Tommy End feels at home at Southside.
You know what's annoying us? That we've seen rumours of him going to WWE, with him being on the watch list. If we lose him, I know it's bringing up mainstream, I do apologise viewers, but all they're doing is looking for a replacement for CM Punk, and he's a prime example of replacement. He's got the tattoos, he's got the look, he's got the gimmick, he's got everything. But anyway,
you could say the same about UR Nation and Big E Langston. That's why UR Nation never got the push, because Big E Langston got there first. But UR Nation is still getting into mainstream WWE.
yeah.
And he's somebody else who'll be sad to be missed from the Indies. But we're still talking about other wrestlers. We can't mention one without the other. We've got to mention the likes of Pete Dunne. Pete
Dynamite
Dunne.
Pete Dunne, fucking awesome. He's highly grown on me.
Pete Dunne has evolved in the short time I've been involved in wrestling myself. He's gone from a mid-carder to a main eventer. He is what I would call the ethos of British wrestling, grassroots British wrestling. From back in the day, vintage world of sport wrestling, to now, he is the crossover.
Yeah.
He is a serious wrestler. He's not a comic character. He is what he is. Hi, I'm Pete Dunne, gets in the ring, does the business and goes. Pete Dunne.
Question for you, while we talk about Pete Dunne, right? I seen people like us. It was a BBC 3 documentary with him and Ryan Smile. Big shout out to Ryan Smile as well.
Ryan Smile, the old age.
He actually helped, if I remember rightly, he actually helped him change his attire. Did he actually get more of an impact whilst he changed his attire from what he originally had?
I personally think so. I think that the way he's dressed now is brilliant.
Yeah, because it blends in with.
His new look has upped him in the ranks.
Mm.
But that's called evolving, and that's what I was talking about.
It's like when we go back to Ryan Smile. Prime example, he runs a wrestling company. He's younger than us. He's fucking younger than us. And
he's got one of the best companies in the UK.
And you look at the passion the guy's got. He can design posters. He can do everything. He can put on wrestling shows like I've just said. He can change someone's attire to make them... I think he got more bookings from that attire because he blends in and it looks like he can appeal to the younger generation other than old farts like us. You know? He's got the total package. I don't know about his promo skills because I haven't seen his promo, but the way he was talking on Friends, people like us, he's talking like the passionate people like us.
His promos in the ring are amazing.
I've never actually seen him properly do a promo.
The way he is in the ring is amazing on the mic. He's got really good mic skills. But I want to shout somebody else. Somebody that has come through the training school, like all of them have, but I've seen him in the training school and I'm now seeing him get into the main British scene. Zach Northern.
Jesus Christ, that's...
Zach Northern is a very young, very gifted, talented young man. What he can't do in the wrestling ring isn't worth doing.
I think he's highly underrated, to be honest.
He is finally getting the push that he should have had 6 months ago.
And he's still young. I don't know how old he is. Is he 17? Is he 17?
I think he's a little bit older, but he's wrestled for Southside against Styx.
He's wrestled fucking countless promotions.
He's also wrestled at Hope several times, including against his ex-girlfriend Nixon, which he didn't want to do. She slapped him and he stood there and he took it and he took it. And bear in mind, this is a wrestling match. This isn't a bitch fight between a bloke and a woman. This is a wrestling match. She slapped him, she knocked him on his arse, and in the end, he had enough. And he put her down. That's his job. But that must have been incredibly hard for someone to do. Emotionally, physically, mentally, whichever. But he did it. Whenever he walks into a room or an arena and his music hits, he gets a massive pop. He comes out to the ring, does his entrance, gets up on the ropes, people are clapping and cheering for this young man. I've seen more talented, I won't say talented, I've seen more experienced is the word I'm looking for, wrestlers that are well known in the British scene come out and not get the reaction that Zach Northern gets. Zach Northern's charisma blows everybody out of the water. He is just... is phenomenal. And he is one of Styx's students. Styx being House of Pain, right here in Nottingham. Styx being the head trainer, and my personal friend Joseph Connors, also a trainer there, and in my opinion one of the best wrestlers in the UK.
And Paul Mayland a trainer as well?
I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I think he has done in the past.
Paul Mayland's another name we can mention. Paul Mayland used to be the former tag team partner of Joe with the Predators. The Predators were a phenomenal tag team together. I've just recently linked a video that was posted on YouTube with a battle between the Predators and Project Ego. Solely linked because it's one of the greatest tag matches I've ever seen. I didn't have the pleasure of being there. She did. But I wasn't.
If I remember rightly, that was my 30th birthday. I can remember it well. Getting abused by Ligero with a ladder.
If I'm right...
and abused by Madman Manson.
Would it be Ill Manners 2?
No. It's not Ill Manners 2. There's never
Bad
been
Manners?
No.
Ill Manners?
Ill Manners 2's coming this week, Numpty. It's Menace to Society 2.
I know it had a 2 in it. Menace to Society 2.
At least it's not a 2-2. Otherwise you'd be kind of worried.
Then it'd be a 4.
No, 2-2 is in where
2-2.
2-2. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Look, let's not get...
Leave the jokes for me!
You are a joke. Let's not get bogged down with humour. Let's keep it factual. We've just brought Mayland into the mix. There's so many British stars, and I will call them stars, that we can mention. There is far too many to sit here and name on this video, because all you would be doing is sitting there listening to me reel off name after name after name for about 4 hours. And you know nothing about them, just their name. The British scene is crammed full of talented wrestlers, but the beauty of the British scene is they get the push when the time's right. We haven't really mentioned on any of our videos female wrestlers.
I was just about thinking that myself. I was like,
so let's start with the one I've just mentioned.
Right, 1 minute. This is proving we're not sexist pigs.
No, we're not. And we're also proving that women's wrestling is not a piss break. Certainly not here in the UK. There's a few wrestlers I want to mention about at this point, but the first one we're going to bring up is Nixon.
I didn't know that would be the first one on the list.
Because Nixon is connected to the conversation we've just had about Zach.
Nixon, see, we're tiling in. Everything's connected, or structured some way or form.
Nixon is a very attractive wrestler. Let's have it right, because if you don't
maybe not sexist, but we're pervs.
Let me say my piece. If you do not have sex appeal in British wrestling, it's a poor tale. Men are attracted to women. Nixon is attractive. Right or wrong? But her wrestling... I'll
save that for another day.
Alright, whatever. Her wrestling ability blows all that out of the water.
Mm-hmm. She's better than some of the males.
She has just recently, and I say recently, over the last few months, developed and started performing a move in the ring, which Gav can correct me because I'm still learning. The Canadian Destroyer. I got it right. There's only a handful of people I know in the UK that can do it.
And take it.
And she's what? Early 20s, 19, 20?
You know what? I've known her for quite a while. I haven't got a clue how old she is.
She's a very young girl and she smashes that move to bits. The move looks better than the Style Clash. And she does it better, or should I say she does the Canadian Destroyer better than AJ Styles does the Style Clash. And AJ Styles is TNA.
Former TNA.
Sorry, former TNA.
He's fucking ROH now.
Doesn't matter.
But I know this is a big step to anyone out there that has watched TNA. I think Nixon does it better than P.D. Williams, who invented that move, if I remember rightly.
I would say so. If you disagree, like, comment, say below. If you think we are right and Nixon does it better, please say so. But we genuinely believe that. We're not just making
assumptions
for the sake of it. We are saying that because we truly believe it. We have seen P.T. Williams do it. We have seen Nixon do it. I've seen Nixon do it live. Not once, not twice, but 3 times now. And every time she does it, she gets better.
And I get a fucking headache by the pop of the marks behind us.
Everybody goes ballistic.
Ballistic ain't the word. I can't even hear myself think half of the time when she does it, but full credit to her. Indeed. That was a delayed clap.
Look, I'm already moving on, mate, because we can't stay on one wrestler all night. Nixon.
Oh yeah, good point.
Amazing, brilliant. The next female wrestler that I've got to bring reference to in the UK scene is...
No. Let me think. Read his mind. Is it Kaylee Ray?
It's Kaylee Ray. And the reason I'm mentioning Kaylee Ray is because of TNA's British Boot Camp, and we were just talking about TNA. Kaylee Ray has just, or is currently, on this year's British Boot Camp. She's just made it to the States, and we are this close to losing her. Fair play to the girl if she gets there. I wish her all the best with her career, but she will be a big, big loss to the Brit scene.
Especially against females and males. That's one thing we've got to point out here in the United Kingdom.
One thing I've got to point out here in the United Kingdom.
The females don't get
now.
1 minute.
Let me give you my minute.
Go on.
While we're on about that, and you're on about female wrestlers, Kaylee Ray, in the next episode of Boot Camp, fights Gail Kim. Oh yeah. It is big.
I'm not going to say it in a pervy way, but jizz in your knickers.
Oh, it's big.
Oh, it's big. That sounds wrong.
It's big, mate. It's big.
I'm sorry.
No.
That came out wrong.
This is
I
big.
just says jizz in your knickers, and you're like, oh, it's big.
This is big, like Hulk Hogan Andre the Giant Madison Square Garden WrestleMania, mate. This is huge.
I was thinking something else, but
she's a pervert. But Kaylee Ray, hopefully you'll get to see this vlog. Somebody might share it that you know. If you do, we've got a lot of time for you, a lot of love for you. Not just in the UK, but personally here when we've seen you live, we've seen you wrestle, we've had the pleasure of meeting you. Full support to you and all the best with what you're doing with TNA.
She's a fucking workhorse, I'll give her that.
She never stops.
It's like when I mentioned about female wrestling, right? People in America don't like cross-gender matches. But why do you think the United Kingdom do it? Because the women don't get that much bookings, which I find is disgusting. So they thought, you know what, mix it up a bit, get women noticed more compared to WWE. I can't compare to TNA because they're doing a fantastic job. Or piss breaks. So they get that stereotypical, like, if it's piss breaks in WWE, it'd be piss breaks everywhere else.
You just made me think.
What? Did it hurt?
No.
Oh, okay.
The next female I was going to mention, which fits in quite nicely where we are now, is somebody who I've just recently seen live, Viper. And the reason I want to mention Viper is she is one to watch. She walks out and everybody thinks, what the fuck have we got in front of us now? She gets in the ring. She cleans house. She took out not one, but 2 wrestlers in an open challenge at Travade, and she gave them a serving. And then she faced the machine that is Tyson T-Bone. Have any of you seen this guy? He is an animal.
Yeah, but we're talking about females, remember?
And she gave as good as she got. Even though the match did have a slight hint of humour and sexual orientation to it, which made it funny, she stood her ground with him. And the two, side by side, even though she lost, she held her own. She deserved to be there. And we had the pleasure of meeting her after the show, didn't we?
Yeah. And not only that, while we're talking about Viper, it's a shame that she didn't get through in boot camp. Not because of her background story or and all that lot. The way she delivers in the ring, I think the nerves got better in TNA boot camp. I know that for a fact.
Agreed.
Compared to what we've seen.
We know what she's capable of.
And hands down, any old farts out there like me and him will know this. Compare it to Klondike Kate.
100%. Whoa.
She oozes Klondike Kate. Big fucking time. And that's what I love about the UK scene as well. They don't give a toss what size they are as long as they wrestle a good match. No disrespect. I know she's a big girl. Everyone knows she's a big girl. Even herself, she knows she's a big girl. But that's what I love about British scene. Because promo work was good in the ring. The amount of people gave a shit and everything, making random chants. Like me and him, I know. We're full for it all the time. Tyler Bate, Compton. Come on, commission. Only joking. But anyway.
Tyler's moustache.
Yeah, we started that fucker.
Tyler's moustache.
You've got none.
Tyler's moustache.
Anyway, that's besides the point. But okay then. Someone popped up on the camera. But like we're saying, with Viper, hands down, lovely girl, bright future. I hope she applies for British Boot Camp Series 3. Because she deserves to be recognition. She's on the long lines of Awesome Kong, ODB, you know? These big girls can wrestle. And she's one of them. And she worked well, even though it was an open challenge. Aaron Knight. They basically, even though she got knocked out first, but them two add chemistry to the max in that match.
Aaron Knight is an opposite to Nixon.